G'day guys, it's Tom here with MYT Solar. If you haven't been following our channel, we are professional RV solar installers here in Oregon. Some might say we're also professional RVers. Today's video, we're going to walk you through a system that we just put into a Nash. Now, if you've been watching our channel, you know that we typically specialize in outdoors RV travel trailers and putting off-grid systems into those. We've done everything though. We've done Grand Design fifth wheels, we've done motorhomes, we've done a lot of solar projects, but we've tailored our business to mostly focus on a product that we love. A product that we love so much that we've owned two of them, and we currently have an awesome one that we're upgrading right now. Now, some of you out there may be able to tell me a little bit more about these two brands, but Outdoors RV and Northwood Manufacturing, which make the Nash product, at some point were, I believe, the one company, and they split. You might consider them sister companies now. They're actually both made in La Grande, Oregon, which is pretty awesome. Nice Oregon-made trailers. From the outside, these trailers look very similar. But once we started digging into it, we found a few little differences, and it really made for a fun install. It was a great product to work with, so if you have a Nash and you'd like to get it upgraded, just let us know. But we want to walk you through that system today. Let's check it out. At the end of the video, I'll give you my overall opinion on the Nash product, and if you're trying to decide between Outdoors RV and Nash, let me know, because I'll have a bit of hands-on experience with both of those trailers.
Okay, let's go.
And if you're liking this channel so far, don't forget to subscribe. We keep this content coming out once a week. Let's go. So I'm going to walk you through everything that we found between this Nash and the Outdoors RV as we did our solar system. First thing, starting with the ladder. Similar, nice, strong, sturdy factory ladder that we could trust all day. Alrighty, so up here on this Nash, to be honest, this week we couldn't tell the difference between whether we were working on an Outdoors RV or a Nash. The roof was just as solid walking around. When we screwed our rail in, we felt we were hitting the same kind of substrate as we usually do. Nice layout, the same size. We could get these 6 panels up here for 1500 watts with a nice walking path. Honestly, roof-wise, things felt very similar to us to the Outdoors RV product, and it was a great experience. So from the factory, actually the Outdoors RV and the Nash are using a similar solar product. And we did have 2 of the Future Solutions solar panels up here that we removed in place for our improved 1500 watts of solar. But what was interesting I found out about the Nash was that even though the solar was only the 2 panels, they ran those 2 panels through one set of cable down to one charge controller. And even though there wasn't extra panels, they still had a second wire run down. So that was kind of neat. And they had 2 solar boxes up here on the roof for us to utilize. So that was nice because we were able to split the panels in half, put 3 on one controller, 3 on the other, use some of that factory wiring. That was just a pretty subtle difference, but for us it made a big difference. It was awesome to be able to do that. So another thing different that Nash is doing is including an inverter. I'm not sure whether it's an optional thing, but the 2 Nashes that we've worked on have both had this. So the customer who had this inverter obviously wanted something a little bigger and better, which I'm excited to show you inside. So we just had to remove this, but it's something different that Nash is doing. Customer reported that even though he had the inverter, he didn't have the battery power or the solar to really utilize it to its full potential. So we removed this and replaced it with a big Victron 3000 watt whole house inverter, which can run his air conditioner and do a lot of those fun things. Let's go inside. So you can see in here, obviously a big difference in the interior of the Nash versus the Outdoors RV. Nice and modern. Not that that really concerns us as solar installers, but what does concern us is what things are made out of. We're very careful and we foam out the floor, and we're careful not to bump things with our drill and all that kind of stuff, but it's a big project during the week, and we had to be a little extra careful in the Nash, and things just weren't as solid as the Outdoors RV. Particularly the bed platform, which is where we do a lot of work. It just wasn't made quite as solid. We did kind of structure it out a little bit more, make it a little more solid through our build, but that was just a subtle difference that we noticed. So here's the bed, and as I mentioned, just not quite as solid. We do build walls and a lot of things like that. One of the things we noticed is when we were screwing our walls in, especially on that back side that borders with the pass-through. On the other side, that was just the same Luan ply as we were kind of coming through here. So we had to be very careful in making sure we found the studs, which we do with the Outdoors RV as well. I'll show you in a second what I mean. It's just not quite as finished on that back side. So there was a chance that maybe screws could poke through. They didn't, but we had to be extra careful with that. So in here, it's a nice kind of complicated and beautiful system here that this customer has got. We've got 2 of the Epoch version 2 Elite 230 amp hour 24 volt batteries. So he's got a nice system of about, let's see, they're 230, 469, about 920 amp hours if you're comparing to a 12 volt equivalent. So a nice big battery capacity and lots of ways to charge. So he's got 2 MPPTs for the roof solar panels divided into the panels at the rear of the RV and the panels at the front of the RV, and he'll be able to see that on his screen, what he's getting from each cluster. He also has another MPPT here for his external solar panels, and he's actually going to reuse the solar panels that we took off the roof, and he's going to set them up outside for another 400 watts. Nice ways to charge from solar. As I mentioned, the Victron Multiplus, you can see here, it's a much different inverter than the smaller inverter that we took out, and a lot more powerful. It's also the battery charger, which means when he's running the generator, talking about another charging source, onboard generator. So when he's running that onboard generator, the Multiplus is going to be charging those batteries at 1500 watts. So a lot of power getting dumped into those batteries. Being that this is a 24 volt system, there was two important devices that we put in here, and Ellie, you might be able to show them just over here on the left hand side. We put them both over here. So we have the Orion on the left, the 24 to 12 volt converter. Now what that's going to do is take the 24 volts from the battery bank and create the 12 volts necessary to power the RV loads, the fridge, furnace, lights, everything DC in the RV. On the right hand side is an Orion charger, and we've got that set up to actually take power from the 24 volt battery bank. And what that's going to do is that's going to keep the 12 volt single lead acid. We replaced it with a small single lead acid and left that on the tongue. And when these batteries are full and they have any energy left to give over, they'll just keep that battery on the tongue topped up. And that battery on the tongue is purely designed to start the generator. It's an isolated system, so if any of this were to shut down, batteries go low and voltage cutoff shuts any of this down, that redundant battery on the generator tongue is ready to jump the system and start the generator. So this is what I was talking about, the other side of that back wall of the bed. Right here is this thin Luan ply, and this is actually the back side of it. In an outdoors RV, it still has these studs and everything, but there's another layer of Luan ply, and then there's also the marine carpet that they put in to really finish this area of the pass-through. And so we can use that. When there's a void like that, we can utilize that void. But you can see here, it's just straight through. The wall is the same wall. It does have the studs, but no extra backing. The customer here has obviously been a little clever, and they've put up their own little pegboard here to really finish out this pass-through. But that's just a few differences. Even over here, in some of our areas where we need to identify and things, this is a little compartment that closes with some fuses for the exterior things, and then also a battery disconnect. In an outdoors RV, you wouldn't have the cables just kind of coming through the insulation here, that everything would come through the wall. So I would just say the finish, maybe not necessarily the fit of everything, but definitely the finish. Some extra time spent into finishing off walls and closing compartments. So we do know the outdoors RV walls very well, and we know where we can run cable. We had an attempt to run cable up to here, which is typically what we're able to do on the outdoors RVs with a similar kind of floor plan. We tried and failed, unfortunately, with this Nash. Not to say something that was necessarily about the Nash, it just wasn't exactly the same as it was in an outdoors RV. Not quite as easy for us. Things maybe weren't as solid. Screen ended up down here. What's nice about the new user interface is that this customer has Starlink, and so he's going to be able to just use a tablet or use his phone to get this exact same screen, and it's very snappy. So he can take that around wherever he wants, because this wasn't really the most ideal location for the screen, but due to the construction of the Nash, we couldn't run cable to the same areas that we normally do. So just talking about all those chargers under the bed, if we click the solar here, we can see we've got the external solar, the front solar, and the rear solar, and we can see all of those kind of work together and how much we're getting from each. Back on the overview screen, we can kind of see the total this morning as it starts to rise and rise as the sun comes out. So the onboard generator back here, it's actually at the back of the RV. In an outdoors RV, they usually have it up the front next to the bed, or right underneath the bed really, in half of that pass-through. So it's nice that they're able to have it back here. To be honest, really though, whenever the generator is running, whether it's under the bed or way back here in the back of the rig, it's gonna rattle the RV, and that's why people like to come to us and get a nice quiet solar power system. So with the generator back here, that made a little bit of difference in our 120 volt wiring and how all that needed to be ran, and I want to dive into that a little bit. What's different about the Nash to the outdoors RV is you have the built-in power cord. And so it kind of just pushes back in there and it wires directly into the RV. You're not also storing the power cord, which I think is a pretty nice feature. For us, when we think about the 120 volt wiring, we've got to kind of learn where things go and what they do. One thing that was really nice about the Nash for us, and I think it's also going to be nice for the customer, is that the generator and the shore power, or a lot of that 120 volt wiring came into a transfer switch, and we're always finding that transfer switch to work out what we need to do with it to incorporate it into our system. What was really nice is in the closet here in the bathroom, room, there was an access panel, and when you pulled off that access panel, just sitting here on top of the generator was the perfect access to that transfer switch, standing up, both our hands down. And so if it ever needed to be replaced by the customer, it's in a great location. It's also where we put the hardwired Hughes Watchdog, which is the surge protector EMS. And so if that was to go out and they needed to replace the surge module, there's no removing drawers, trying to dig in behind factory wiring. There's a lot of stuff like that in the outdoors RVs with that transfer switch that's just a pain in the neck. So that was an awesome layout and an awesome decision on where they put that component. I'm going to crawl under here and just show you some differences in the underbelly of the Nash versus the outdoors RV. And the reason that the underbelly is important is that it's where we run a lot of our cable. So right here we have this access panel where a lot of the factory wiring is, and you can see it's attached to this kind of tarpaulin material, and you can see it's a very similar access panel to the outdoors RV. The only difference being in the outdoors RV, if you look over here and you can see the frame, in the outdoors RV, below the frame is all sealed. So this access panel wouldn't be up in this material, it would actually sit lower in the ceiling that goes all through the frame. And so the Nash does not have that. See, if we're looking up here right now, you wouldn't be able to see up in this area because it would all be sealed with the chloroplast and some Reflectix insulation. That was a big difference. If we go further down the RV, you can see what the outdoors RV would look like all over. So the Nash, now if we look at the frame here, you can see the Nash does have that chloroplast, but only in the areas where the tanks are. So that was a big difference. We typically pop our wires into the underbelly and do some careful snaking through there without having an underbelly that, and by underbelly I mean the actual chloroplast material that goes all the way from the rear of the trailer to the front. We had to get a little creative with how we ran our cables. And then finally, just in terms of aesthetics, I think it's definitely a nice looking exterior on this trailer. Definitely looks ready for some off-grid adventures, especially now that it has our killer rail system and our awesome solar panels on it. Really like the aesthetic here. Beautiful trailer. So it was a fun install this week. We really did enjoy working with the Nash product, and we'll be happy to keep putting systems into those trailers if anyone needs it done. Still a high quality trailer compared to a lot of trailers that we've seen and worked on. But I'd love to hear from you guys. If you've owned a Nash or an outdoors RV, I mean, it'd be amazing if you've owned both and you could comment on that. How do you find the trailers in terms of quality? Any things that you've noticed over the years? I'd love to hear about that. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week.